I used acrylic. Oh, okay. I used acrylic paint, Shirley, but not like Ceramcoat. I used in the tube.
Oh.
Like regular acrylic, like you buy in the art section.
Right.
Like or something like that. I used some of that, and just a little bit of. It was just a tiny little dab.
Yeah.
To put in, and I mixed in. We chopped up some. It was supposed to be like strawberry preserves, and I wanted it to look like it had stuff in it. Except it was a little too dense in color. I really didn't like it, and I was just playing around with it, but I wasn't too thrilled. And I never really did too much with it after that, to be truthful. I mean, that's, and I'm going back many years. I have some of it, like Lisa, I've got a bottle of it in the house or a couple bottles in the house, but I never really do anything with it.
So are you talking about the liquid polymer that's colored in some way or another, or are you talking about liquid Sculpey?
I use liquid Sculpey that time.
Yeah, I've used.
That's what they had when I did it. That was one of the first ones out, and that was the only thing I could find.
Now, the liquid Sculpey that I've used has been fabulous, for sticking bits and pieces on stuff. I mean, you can really bake things extremely well like that. But I've used it to chop up with bits and pieces like you did with the strawberry preserves, and it worked marvelously to do that. And I have used it also when you're making like a liquid, like a milkshake liquid. You can do shavings in it from chalks, and you can also do bits and pieces of really chopped fine Fimo. And you can get that same color with Fimo, and it makes a really, really good, different kind of texture. It looks like real food, and I like that a lot. But now the liquid polymer that I thought maybe we could talk about that maybe somebody had used, I've never used it. I got this stuff from Michael's, and it's gold, and it looks like real gold. And you can put it into molds, and you can bake it into molds, and it's real liquid polymer, and it's supposed to be able to be used just like any kind of a polymer clay, except it's already liquid. And you just squirt it in something and bake it.
Yeah, Kathy Price has used that. Yes. I know she's talked about that. Do you have anything to show us of things that you've done or that you have of the liquid? Lisa?
Well, I can go in my craft room and get it, but I'm waiting on my dinner.
Oh, okay.
Carolyn probably has a whole bunch of stuff. It's stuff like you've seen before from Ruth. If any of y'all remember the wonderful Egyptian pyramid room that she did for the convention several years ago, she had this great cake, and you had pieces of a pyramid and mummies and things like that were stuck on there. All you need to do is just a little bit of stuff, behind it. It's just like a little bit of glue, and then you stick it back in the oven for 5 minutes, and it sticks it on there forever. That's really all that I have done with it that I could get out and display. Other stuff I've got stuck into room boxes.
Well, that doesn't sound like.
Okay.
So its main use sounds to be as a glue, as opposed to, I would have thought it would have been good for fluids, like in a cup or something.
That's what I do for fluid. Because on here, I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to see. I use it for the chocolate sauce on that pear.
Oh.
You mix it with oil paints. So it's the chocolate sauce on that pear right there, the peach.
Yeah.
Like a baked pear is going to be a red looking color. So that's the chocolate sauce.
Yeah,
on
you're right, Sharita. I may have used an oil when I did mine, but I don't remember. I said it was so long ago when I did that. When I did those colors. I just know it wasn't a bottle of Ceramcoat. It was artist paint that I used that time.
And then I use it on to make things look like succulents. These are just regular punches, but I paint the liquid Sculpey on it, and then it'll look more like a succulent, and just dust it with cheap baby powder. Don't get Johnson & Johnson or nothing like that, nothing good, because it's gonna sparkle. So, but the cheap one from the dollar store is just cornstarch. So you dust it with the cornstarch and you get a nice succulent out of it. But you can use any kind of cheap punches to make your succulent, and then just brush it with the liquid Sculpey and bake it.
Could you use regular cornstarch?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, I don't know. Do they treat the cornstarch when they make the powder with something? It might work, but I don't know. I'm not sure about. I'm not a a cook as far as does it have something like that may attract bugs? You
Um,
know,
Mhm.
but I know that the baby powder is just powder in the like I say, like Dollar Tree or cheap powder, and you just dust it on there.
I wondered if it would be a little finer, the baby powder a little finer than regular cornstarch. I don't know.
Yeah, it may.
Possibly.
It could be. Yeah, yeah. Good idea. Yeah.
I just took the class with Bettina Murda at convention, working with cold porcelain. And you do have to use oil paint to color that.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it works the same way as the sculpting, but I do know for that, she required that she use oil paint. And she says the acrylics will not work properly.
Uh-huh.
I thought it says that on like the Sculpey site or online or something about that, you mix it with oil paint to color it.
Yeah, I said I may have been wrong. I said that was a long time ago I did that class.
Yeah.
It has to be more than 10 years ago. So
Oh,
it's like, I don't really remember. I have to go see if I could drag it out and look it up. But yeah, I mean, it could have been oil paints. I just know I used something in a tube from the art section.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bottle of acrylic that you can buy. It wasn't Apple Barrel or Folk Art or Ceramcoat or
right,
anything.
right. And I just use it.
Might have been oil.
Cheap oil paints with that, just cheap oil paints in there, mix it up because you're baking it and everything.
Okay,
Yeah, and I just tried it that time because it was something new. It was something different. I was looking for some different techniques and stuff, and people had been talking about it. So I was thinking of using it for different things instead of using resin all the time for everything. The polymer coating, the 2-part resin for stuff. I thought I would try that.
right. Probably
said I
be a
didn't
little
really do it.
simpler than the
Yeah,
resin.
I figured you could bake it. I never really did much with it after that, though. I think I might have gotten the idea from maybe either Angie Scar or one of the books that was out at the time. Somebody might have mentioned something. So I don't know, somebody who had some kind of clay book or food book or something. I think it was one of the Brits. One of my
Angie,
books.
yeah.
That
Angie Starr's books are quite good and quite full of information.
Yeah.
And I would bet it's in there.
I said, if not that one, it was one of the other ones because I do have a couple.
Yeah.
I could look. I might have it in the bookcase here, and I think that was one of the suggestions on how to just. Oh, let me try this, and see how it worked. But
Yeah.
let me see if I have it. My clay books are my clay books are right here in the bookcase behind me.
Okay, anyone else tried something, whether it worked or not, or heard about different things with the liquid clays? Okay, see if Carolyn comes up with something there.
Got a couple I got to dig out.
Trina, when you mix it to make the chocolate, what color oil paint do you use?
That's just a brown, like a burnt umber. And to save it, the little plastic paint pots, I just keep it in there. Just mix a little bit in a little paint pot, and then you could just drizzle it on your. Now that was like that pear. That was clay. I made it out of clay, and it was translucent with the little pink, just to get the peach. The pear, the color of the pear, and then just let the sauce drip over it and bake it again. Bake it on there. And that's a paper plate, and it didn't burn up.
Can you hold that up again for us?
Okay.
Give us time to pin it.
Cool.
Thank you, Sharita.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely looks good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
When I get done here, I'll have to go get my mint ice cream with chocolate sauce.
Julia, you're ready to fly off.
That's what it looks like.
So I have a kind of a failed attempt of
Okay.
the glue. This was my very first time opening a bottle. I went and bought this like 2 weeks ago. But I was this is a quarter scale cheesecake. But I was trying to make one of those. Where's my camera? Oh, there. Cherry cheesecake, and where they make them look like they're glossy.
Right.
So I think I know what I did wrong now, because I used acrylic paint.
Okay,
And I just
yeah.
mixed it. Yeah, I used this liquid Sculpey and mixed with a tiny bit of the acrylic. And so you can tell it came out really like matte. So then I
Yeah.
tried painting over it with a glossy Mod Podge thing,
Uh-huh.
and it just didn't come out very good. But I mean, it's a quarter scale. It's who's going to care when they see it on the table, but yeah, so
Okay.
that was my very first attempt.
All right. Well, and so now you've learned something too.
Yeah,
You know, we learn by our mistakes sometimes.
yeah, for sure. So I was excited to just hear that oil paint, because I'm sure that's what that makes a lot of sense why it would have came out that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
The other thing that when it gives you that glossy effect is gallery glass.
Okay, yeah.
And I
I've
don't
read a
know how
lot
many
about that.
people have used that, but it's quite versatile also,
Yes.
for different things.
Mhm.
But
Sometimes too much gloss doesn't look good. So your duller finish probably would look better than a shiny cherry top.
Yeah, I don't.
it depends
I
on
don't
what you're
know.
making, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, I may have had some success.
All right.
Found a couple of things, but basically the book I found with liquid polymer is Angie Scar's Miniature Food Masterclass. Whoops. All right, wait, let me unblur my background, yeah.
Right.
It's messing up the, okay. This
There
one?
you go.
Oh, that's the one I got. now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, now I've had it quite a while, but it has a price of $19.95 on the back.
I think that's what it is on Amazon.
Yeah, it's probably that, if not more, but it's got a lot of information in it, and she has a whole section of liquid.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And then there's nothing in here with what I did with it, because I guess I just, kind of came up with that. But she has a thing on, you actually also says you can use it to make transfers.
Oh.
Kato liquid poly was best at picking up color from the inkjet on my paper.
Yeah.
And then she also has down, she's used it as an oven hardening glue, which is what we talked about, sticking bits together, to simulate jellies, mousses, and blancmange, which is probably what I was thinking of when I did my thing. Liquid polymer and inclusions. Items can be added to make textured materials such as caviar and mince pies. Now what did she say? To make sticky mix, she's calling it. Ordinary polymer clay can be added by grading and mixing to liquid polymer to create a range of materials from a thick liquid to semi-solid. She has like toffee apples and things on the book. Liquid polymer can simulate water. It can be used in molds. And she's showing some different things here. And she does say using paint and pigment powder. Okay. All right, this is what Angie says now. Because liquid polymers are oil-based, you cannot use water-based paint. So I must have used an oil. And stains to color them. The water either settles out of the material, or worse, it's trapped in the material during baking and becomes hot and explosive.
Ooh.
Oh,
So let's not go there. Oil colors, however, can be used, are very reasonably priced, and you only need a little to add color to your material. The cheap set of oil colors do not have the right crimson for many projects, but you can buy them separately from an art shop. Don't overdo the oil paint, otherwise you alter the quality of the liquid polymer. Yeah, I remember you had this tiny little bit. A little titanium white can be used to make color more subtle and opaque, but if you want bright and translucent, use just a little of your main color. You can also use oil-based liquid tints, the kind normally used with resin. Or you can go directly to pigment powders available in special art and modeler shops. Good quality pigment powders are my favorite. You have to watch out for how granular they are and for toxicity in some colors, and that they are not inhaled. Oh, lovely. Some low toxicity pigment powders are available in cake decorating shops. I collect colors with an addict's zeal. You never know when you're going to want to color. You can also try using some chalky powders, but often these don't mix well and can settle out of the liquid. It depends on the effect you're trying to achieve. Then she has a thing here, filling jars and let's see. Yeah, putting liquid polymer in and filling jars and then apparently baking it. This doesn't have like any specific projects. She's showing you pictures and giving you some techniques mainly is what this seems to be about. And then she goes on to, in back, she does have a few things to make in the back of the book. But I think this one, it's mostly, she has a few projects in this book, but a lot of it's technique in this one. So that's the master class book. Okay. If anybody wants to look that up to get some ideas or get some, because for quite a while I was a crazy person buying every polymer clay book I could get my hands on. So, but I also have just in general, this one I thought was very good. I used several times. This is by Sue Heiser. It's a general polymer clay book. Again, she's another Brit. That's all kinds of things. This is not just limited to food. She does tea sets. She does, I think the candlesticks, the bucket, all kinds of things in here. I have this Sue Heiser book. This is Techniques for Crafters in a Hurry. I think you can still get most of these off Amazon. And again, they run anywhere from, like $20, $30 or so. And of course I have Angie's Market Store book. And I bought this from her directly, so I have a signed copy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this one I got a signed copy. She was in the 1 year or the two, she went to Philadelphia many years ago and was in Philadelphia once or twice. But then she had some kind of problem bringing her stuff in. There was a customs snafu, so she didn't come in. So I have a copy. I got that from Angie. But and I also have, okay, who's this by? Oh, I don't think I showed you this one. This one's also by Sue Heiser, which I know she's very good and this has all kinds of different stuff in it, not just miniatures. You can she shows you how to make jewelry and all kinds of things with polymer. But those were the really good ones that I bought. And then I have a lot of those cheapy craft ones to get to make figures and stuff like too.
So did you do any of that, Carolyn? Did you do any of the just regular Polymer's clay stuff?
How do you mean, Julie?
I just mean, you said you got a lot of those books, so did you mess with clay a lot?
I kind of play around. I used to play around once in a while. I haven't done anything lately. And sometimes I like the British books. They're good. They're informative. But sometimes you have to do a little bit of translation.
I gotcha.
And you're trying to figure out what they're talking about, and then you have to try to figure out how to find the items that they're
referencing. Gotcha.
So it was like, okay, what is she talking about? Well, cocktail stick, toothpick, or so you need to do a little translation, and I said you need to see, because they don't always give you. Part of my thing is I need colors, no matter how long I've been doing this, I've gotten better with it, but I'm horrible at color. That's crazy. But so when they say, oh, use a green,
What green?
like, oh, could you give me a little more of a hint than that? Okay, this says like leaf green clay or whatever. I need more specific, like a formula or a more specific color to do certain things to at least get me started. And then I can go from there, and then I can play around with things. But so sometimes some of those instructions drive me crazy because they're not specific enough.
Gotcha.
YouTube and stuff is like the same way. I like your charm shop. I think it was on you. I think it was her or something on YouTube. I watch her things, and she says, "Oh, but she uses this color and this color and this color, mixes it together, and then with all the editing, you're not seeing the whole process. She speeds it up and that." But I'm like, what color is it? What color is it? So,
I
okay,
understand.
yeah. I said I have gotten a little better with some of it, but it's still not. After 30 years, I still can't mix colors. So.
I was looking on Amazon for these books because, you guys all know how bad I suck with polymer clay. But if you have a Kindle membership, some like through Amazon, some of her books are free. They're included with the Kindle Unlimited, like her Dollhouse Flower Shop and her the Miniature Gardens book are included with the Kindle Unlimited membership.
How did you find
So-
that out? Because when I
I just-
Googled them,
I
they
went
just
through, I was
showed
in
up as-
Amazon. I was in
I know,
Amazon.
but they just show up as free. I mean, it's a paid for book.
Yeah, I got some other books and I got them mainly for my granddaughter because she likes to make food. But this one, it just says included with your Kindle Unlimited membership, or you can buy it for $7.49. The Miniature Gardens book. And then the other one is the Dollhouse Flower Shop. Same thing. It says it's included with your membership. I haven't gone into my membership to see if it's included in there for sure. But
Now, are
I
they
mean,
from that Andrea Star?
from Angie Scar?
Yeah, Angie Star.
Scar.
Scar, SCARR.
R.
Yeah.
But they're her books?
Yes, they're her books.
Oh, okay, I'll check.
Yeah,
Sharon,
because I was looking them up just because she's got tons of books, guys. And on Amazon, the one you said you paid $20 for, the masterclass one, I got it for $13.89 or something like that.
Well,
I
I
mean-
don't know how much it was because I got it a
it's
month
marked
ago.
marked 1999, but I did get a couple of books from a friend one time who was going to go back to going into her childhood dollhouse, and she did for a while, and she bought some stuff, but then she had to move. She had no room for the house. The house was falling apart and stuff, and she
Yeah.
gave it away and
Well,
gave me some of her books. Some of them were hardcovers, very, very good ones. I could keep
well,
what I
whoever had this book, I guess I bought the only one they had because it now says that masterclass is not available. Sorry, guys.
Well, if
I
it's
ha-
on your Kindle, it's available forever.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the Kindle one. The Kindle ones are the two I said, the Miniature Garden and the, gotta get back
Oh,
up there,
yeah.
sorry. The Dollhouse Flower Shop.
I have about 5 of Angie's books, which I bought from Amazon. I never paid more than $15 for any of them.
Yeah,
yeah, well,
I just ordered 4 different ones and paid not even, I think the most expensive was $14.99 for the book. One was less than $10 and they're all new books. It's not like they're used or anything like that.
Right.
So,
yeah, I had mine way before I was doing stuff on some of mine, like on Amazon, and I wasn't doing all of that, so I bought them wherever. I probably got a few on Amazon, but
yeah.
Yeah,
mostly I got them
actually,
through like Miniature Collector. Sometimes I think would advertise them, or
Yeah, I saw them in there.
miniatures or something, and somebody would have an ad maybe once in a while. Again, I have in my cart, and I haven't ordered it yet. Angie also has a book, Simple Mold Making.
Yes, that's the one I was looking up actually.
Yeah, I have that in my cart. I haven't ordered it yet.
And that one's the most expensive one I saw. It's $18.95 for that book.
molding ideas for miniaturists, model makers, and animators.
Does
Yeah,
everybody know that Queen Elizabeth died today?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we already discussed it, Bev.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I
And
was late, I
got
didn't
out
hear
on
it.
time, I thought.
yeah,
What?
with the Angie Scar books back in the day, I had them a long time ago when you could order from her. That's
Oh,
where I got mine from her. And
oh,
all the little molds and stuff she has.
Well, she
I,
still has them. You can go to her
yeah,
website.
yeah. I mean, I used to buy them, but I used to order them from her. That was when postage wasn't crazy and all of that.
My first book that I got of hers was the one for market stalls.
Yeah, mine
And
too.
I ordered from her too then.
Yeah,
And that
yeah, I
was
got all
years
those.
ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I have that signed copy right after she came out with it. It said she was in Philadelphia and was selling them. So I bought it directly from her that time. And if you wanted to, she would sign them for you. So
Oh, that's
I
cool.
got the book, but I also have the market stall somehow. The actual market stall that's on her cover.
oh, wow.
Now, is the market stall 1-inch scale?
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
and Amazon has that for $15.19 right now.
And on the liquid Sculpey, it does say pigment powders and alcohol inks to color. That's what it
Oh.
says.
Oh,
But
Yeah, I didn't read that.
yeah, and it says to use a thinner to thin it out, but I don't know. I never used all that thinner and stuff with it.
It's not a water base, or it is?
No,
No.
it's not. No, not like a oil paint thinner or whatever like that. Or I don't know if they mean like a thinner, like at the hardware
Like
store.
turpentine
Yeah, yeah.
or
Well,
nail
not
polish
turpentine.
remover?
Well, I would say it, make sure it just says a thinner, because
Well, that would be paint thinner, but it could be acetate too.
Acetone.
You know, nail
mm,
polish remover is acetate and it
Acetone.
or acetone, whatever. Yeah.
mm.
Okay, any other questions or comments about liquid clays? If you think of something, bring it up. Okay, October is going to be pumpkins. And maybe people can come up with some whimsical pumpkins or some far out pumpkins or something like that. We'll do it on during the session and all. So bring your orange clays and any other things to use for decorations, leaves, whatever. October, and then November will be Cos clay. Have any of you used the Cos clay?
What kind?
Cos, C-O-S. It's
Never heard of it.
flexible. When it's baked
Yeah.
once, it's flexible. And for use like for dolls and stuff.
Yeah.
Evelyn has made several dolls with the Cos clay. And the arms and legs are bendable. If you bake it a second time, it's not bendable. It's solid then. But she has several dolls and all that she's made with that. And then December, of course, will be our holiday party. Then for next year, anyone have any ideas of, just one time tutorial type things, or maybe 2 or 3 in a row, not necessarily a whole year, but things you can email me, suggestions, ideas of things that you would like to learn more about. Anything to do with minis. Whether it's, plays or techniques, landscaping, we first went through landscaping, but anything to do with miniatures and different techniques and all. Okay, if there's nothing more with this, I will end the recording.